So, no KK? Or is he tomorrow now? Yum Academy, we got a B again, because I haven't changed my house any. We do got maple on our island now, which is pretty sweet. We got weed growing there, I apparently missed for a few days. Not surprising. I'm not the best at spotting weeds. Diva! I am the best at spotting Diva, though. Let's do this! Come on, these fires shouldn't be the only things making noise, queen. Wahaha. That's very fair. I don't really know what to ramble about today. Like, I'm not the greatest at knowing what I'm gonna ramble about before I start rambling. I suppose I could ramble about something none of you would know anything about. Done that plenty of times. Seems like there's a lot of would you like some sip going on in Jared's stream. So I have the 8-Bit Drummer stream open. Just in case he plays my suggestion while I'm recording. It will be nice only having one night a week again that I have to record late at night. But, yeah, I keep getting reminded of a comment I left and still stand by from quite a long time ago about something Star Trek related. And it was tied to, I forget the name of the episode. It's a Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode. Anyone who's watched Deep Space Nine will know the episode. It's the one where Sisko orders a planet be basically nuked because he wants to capture one guy who betrayed his Starfleet uniform. The good guy, Commander Sisko, orders, it might have been Captain at the time, I think it was Commander though, orders the effective nuking of a planet, rendering it uninhabitable for at least 50 years, with hundreds of thousands of innocent people, women and children included, on that planet, given less than an hour to evacuate. Because one guy turned his back on Starfleet. And someone had left a comment basically going, you know when the Klingon on your crew is having an issue with this, you know it's too far. And my response to them was basically to say, yeah, that's pretty spot on, not gonna lie. Klingons don't much care for attacking just unarmed civilians. And there's been so many people going, oh, but what about this or that? Is, you know, the Klingons would definitely... No, they wouldn't. I wanted to... Get back down there, you monstera. Back where you were. Like, the Klingons were established into the next generation as a species that now values honor above all else. They weren't initially like that. They were initially, quite literally, mustache-twirling villains. Like, they had no real subtlety to them. They were literally just mustache-twirling villains. That's what they did. And, like... during the original series movies, they evolved. They became an honor-based civilization out of necessity. Because Klingons did always value some semblance of honor. There was a modicum of honor, but it was only honor through combat. honor through destroying your enemy. But out of necessity, it had to evolve. Because a civilization needs more than warriors. A civilization made entirely of warriors will starve to death because there's no one farming. A civilization made of warriors will be as dumb as a bag of hammers because there's no one to teach them anything other than how to fight. They needed things that weren't just more warriors. So there became honor in everything, and dishonor in doing savage things. Because out of necessity, they needed to move away from that. Yes, there are still some Klingon houses that are very vile and evil. Maple, who's here, checking in on me before I even finished unpacking. As of today, I can start saying that I'm from Astera 2. So hello, new neighbor. Aw, she's so cute. I honestly think she's quickly becoming my second favorite villager. I haven't even known her long, but if anything were to happen to her, I would burn this entire world to the ground. Little scorpion. Or was that Sub-Zero? No. Mortal Kombat theme. Goes Scorpion, then Sub-Zero. For anyone who does not know. But by the time of Deep Space Nine, the Klingons were very honor-based. They would not do what Sisko did. And there's people going, oh, but what about... I forget the name of the episode. It's like Errand of Mercy or something, where Julian Bashir and Sisko's son are both stuck at a military hospital. I didn't stop in and see Pinky when I was over by her house. I'll have to make sure I get back there. And the Klingons are attacking it. But you're missing something. It's a military hospital. It's a war target. Take me on. Well, dance spell. Huh? Huh? Was I napping? Better question. Was I drooling? Nah, you were sleep talking. There she goes. She must have had a long day. It's understandable. I wish she'd go to bed, though. But, like, the examples people use to try to be like, no, you're wrong, are all dumb. Like, if the Klingons had been fighting the Maquis instead of allying themselves with them, as they did later on, the Klingons would have just wiped them out, no problem. Woo! There they go! The fireworks are going off now, Colonel! I think I can sustain this energy for the rest of the night. I think I can sustain this energy for the rest of the night, Colonel. You know it. I don't know it, but I believe in you, man. Oh, jeez. Gassy. I exercised a little too close to eating. I thought I gave myself enough time. Turns out I didn't. Like, the whole point I was even making with my comment was basically to agree with the guy, but also bring up that every single one of the Defiance bridge crew failed as Starfleet officers in that moment. Because, okay, take it out of the Star Trek universe. Dear viewer, imagine yourself as a bridge officer on, because I know I have a lot of American viewers. You're a bridge officer on New Jersey. Battleship New Jersey. With your 406mm guns. You rock up next to, say, where, you sail up within visual range of a city. Just any country's city. But let's just because of y'all's war history, Japan. You sail up right next to Japan, you can see into a city. through your telescope or binoculars, you can see school kids going about their day. A few of them stopping, looking at your boat in awe. They're inspired. They love what they see. There's adults walking around. Clearly none of them are military officers. But you know there's one officer in that town. And then your captain orders all guns to be aimed at that city. To blow it to hell and back. Wouldn't you stop them from killing all of those innocent people to get one guy? Like, I know I sure would. And that's a much smaller scale. Sort of silly since I'm inside the shop all day. Sunny weather helps me work faster. Or maybe it's just I'm making shorter sleeves. It is fair. Like, quite literally, it is within the duty of any Starfleet officer to basically, in that moment, mutiny. Take control of the ship. The commanding officer is mentally compromised. He must be taken out of his position of power. Tonight's fireworks show just got started. Want to watch it together? Hey, I got a lot of other villagers to yap with. And some fossils to still dig up. There's still one fossil around here somewhere. And like, I get it. There's going to be some people who are going to hear that, and they're going to disagree with me. They're going to be like, no, this was a traitorous officer, and he needed to be caught. Even though Eddington was never higher than the rank of lieutenant, he wouldn't have any valuable information. The most valuable information he had was how to operate the cloaking device that was on the Defiant. He didn't have it. It's still on the Defiant. He has knowledge of that cloaking device, but hey, so do the Romulans. They're the ones that gave it to the Federation. So, I don't think the Romulans are gonna care if Eddington were to run up to them and be like, hey, they got a cloak, do something about it. Like, they're not gonna care, they're just gonna shoot him. Like, it's a problem that solves itself in that situation. Whoop. Talk with Gala. Look, Butterbean, look! No, not at me. Look up at the sky. It's me, dazzling, snorty. Lights like these always take my breath away. Aww. Caroline! It's take a lot of time and coordination to put together a big fireworks show like this one. All the more reason to enjoy it to its fullest, Tallnut. I know I was gonna do custom fireworks for this one, but I just didn't have time to plan them out, so... Steven, look! No, not at me. Look up at the sky. It's me, dazzling airmail. Sights like these always take my breath. We have so many villagers with the same personality type, but I love it. Because they're all such cuties, so it works out. But like... Even if you take it out of Star Trek still, like, putting it back into that scenario of if you're a bridge officer on Battleship New Jersey, as it's about to paste a civilian city because there's one officer there that your captain wants dead, it is your duty to stop them from massacring thousands. Like, quite simply, in that situation, as, say, any of the bridge officers, you don't even have to be second in command. You're, the thing you need to be doing is going, belay that order. Captain, I am relieving you of duty. You are obviously mentally compromised, and you are not making sound decisions. I am relieving you of your command. You can willingly give it up, or you can be escorted to the brig. And then whoever is second in command takes over. Like, that is the reasonable response. Our show has begun. Glad you made it, Steven. A little something for everyone as part of today's event. Is it this time? As bright as the fireworks in the sky, we're wearing a bulb bopper. Adventures in the easier spot can get pretty dark at night. It never gets too dark at night here. Bam. Got bulbs. I'm an alien now! Beep, boop, alien. I'm a robot alien, I guess. But, like, that always kind of bugged me. Especially with how the writing is. Like, there's an episode much later called In the Pale Moonlight, which is an amazing episode. Even just as, like, a standalone thing, if you've never watched anything Star Trek, that is an amazing episode to watch, even knowing nothing about the show. Just like, going in, all you need to know is that Commander Sisko, at this point, still thinks he's a goody two-shoes. Even though he nuked a planet. Like, he still thinks he's a goody two-shoes good guy. But Sisko sees that episode, the events that happen in that episode, as the point that he becomes a different person. That he becomes a man who is okay with being an accessory to murder and is willing to cover up the crimes of other men, all just to bring the Dominion War to a close. And that he can live with all of that. That's kind of what bugs me, though, is that he's already done worse than what he does in that episode. To innocent people himself, but he doesn't view it that way, because he got his man after he nuked the planet. And I'm sure that was conveniently left out of the reports, though, conveniently enough, the episode in which he nuked this planet was basically the episode just before the movie First Contact. In the movie First Contact, who do we see commanding the Defiant? Worf, not Sisko. You don't see basically any of Sisko's bridge crew. There's a few, but you don't see virtually any. You see Worf, who at that point in time was effectively the third in command. There's probably a good reason for that, because the others are probably being disciplined for their lack of action and Sisko's action. Worf was probably granted leniency in a weird sort of racism, because it was probably assumed by Starfleet that Worf was okay with things happening because he's a Klingon. Like, you know, the Federation is just as bad as a lot of these commenters, you know, which is really ironic, because the Federation is supposed to be, 69, nice. They're supposed to be evolved humans. They're supposed to be better than that. I believe you, too. The Federation is perfectly happy to watch millions to billions of people die if it means maintaining their appearance of being the good guys. The Federation willingly sat back and watched the Cardassians subjugate and exploit hundreds of worlds, may not have been hundreds, but plenty of worlds, absolutely decimating these planets, when the Federation could have stopped them with ease. It's shown during the first skirmishes between the Cardassians and the Federation that a singular Nebula-class starship could take on multiple Galor-class cruisers, battle cruisers, without even suffering a scratch. Hi there, my fabulous bestie. So Fab, you're here. Blah. Let's talk. I lived at home. My room was a total grody storm. Mom would clean it up when I was little. Once you grow up, you have to do everything like to yourself. So now I fight the grody storm. It is fair. My room is still kind of a mess. To be fair though, it's actually not as bad as it looks. It's just a lot of stuff up high looks kind of bad. It doesn't help that, like, right there is a bed for Frisk, and behind that is my clothes, like, and you can't really see much else, so it looks a lot messier than it actually is in here. But, like, quite literally, this Nebula class was, like, one-tapping the pinnacle of Cardassian shipbuilding. And there was nothing the Cardassians could do. Yet, the Federation decided to make a bad peace deal with the Cardassians. And then just sit back and watch them exploit worlds and civilizations because they didn't feel like stopping the conquering legions of the Cardassians when they could, which ultimately led to the Cardassians getting strong enough to be a major threat to the Federation. And guess what? They became a major threat to the Federation. And because of the Cardassians, the Federation almost lost the Dominion War. It's also because of the Cardassians that they won the Dominion War. Like, and yet, without the Cardassians being in play, the Federation probably could have won the Dominion War. It's because the Dominion had the Cardassians that they struggled to win. Lucky you. I was reading a letter I got from my dad back home, and something he wrote gave me a solid DIY idea. I wrote the recipe down as quick as I could in case I forgot it, and with that, good luck, and vanish. Chalice. Shell stool. I know how to make one of those. Okay, I should go get some prizes from Red. Gotta sell these fish first, then that recipe. But, yeah, like, it's just... There's so much about the Star Trek universe that just drives you crazy when you really look into it. Because, like... And it's one of those things that it's what makes me really like the universe of EVE Online the most as a sci-fi universe. Because it's the most believable. Now, a big part of that is because the players help make up a lot of the lore, because it's a big sandbox, it's a player-driven game. But, like... Ugh, jeez. I'm just gonna keep rambling while Red goes on. Yeah, I'm your favorite cousin. Yep. 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 I'm in. I want more tea. But, like, with EVE Online, hey, number 1, Red Sparkler. Like, the factions, none of them are good guys. None of them. They're all number 1 twice in a row. Jeez. Is that all you have tonight, Red? Is just a bunch of number 1s? But, like... Number 3. Like, none of them are the good guys. They're all evil in one way or another. And... yet, at the same time, they are willing, to a degree, to put differences aside, to fight bigger threats, you know, pirate factions and all that. But, like, they also just have more realistic weapons. Like, Star Trek very much has this issue where everything they did, they were trying to sound super futuristic. So, you get things like quantum torpedoes. I could be completely mistaken, but I am pretty sure quantum effectively just means small. Small torpedo. But no, these are apparently devastatingly dangerous. And then they have things like antimatter containment fields for their warp cores. It's like, alright. Antimatter is a thing, theoretically. And in New Eden, it's a ammo fired out of a railgun. Because it is a dangerous thing. If antimatter did exist, it would be very dangerous. So, what are you gonna do with it? Use it as an energy source or a bullet? You're gonna use it as a bullet. Because that's gonna be one darn devastating bullet. Which is also one of those things of, I've had this debate with people before, of basically EVE Online versus Star Trek, who would win, you know, that fight kind of thing. And my general response is literally a Tristan, a Galante Tech 1 frigate, would probably solo most of the Federation on its own. Simply because, one, its shields and armor work, and two, it would be firing antimatter at them. There's a reason they have containment fields for antimatter. It's because antimatter basically punches straight through their shields like it's not even there, and reacts very badly with the internals of their ships, causing a lot of problems, to put it lightly. Like, an antimatter containment breach blows up the ship. Like, and not only would the Tristan itself be doing that, but it would be launching drones called hobgoblins. These little hobgoblins also fire antimatter rounds. So, yeah. Nah, you're not... Your Federation ships aren't winning this one. Honestly, there's no faction in Star Trek that would win that fight. And that's just a frigate. Though, saying that, that frigate is almost the size of a nebula. Actually, no. No, the Tristan would be about the size of an Excelsior. Which, to the Federation, is a cruiser. Now, ship sizing is a bit funny this way. Frigates are smaller than cruisers, by definition. EVE Online cruisers are as big or bigger than various enterprises. Battleships? You're looking at outpost-sized things flying around. Carriers, supercarriers, dreadnoughts, those are the size of Federation space stations. Like, the EVE Online universe has absolutely ludicrously sized ships. Like, the developers did a scale image at one point, putting a Galante Titan above some major city, and it just dwarfs that city. Like, Titans are ginormous. Honestly, with the amount of mass that a Titan has, it probably has its own gravitational field. They're that big. Plus, I mean, there is nothing like the industrial might of New Eden. Nothing. And, like, that's without even considering the players of it all. Like, in lore, the NPCs are able to pump out ship after ship after ship near, like, hours apart. They're launching new cruisers, new battle cruisers, new battleships, tons of frigates, destroyers. They're mass producing all of the equipment these ships need. And the players are doing the same thing, and you can really count the players as more factions, because that's kind of what they are. The players are part of the lore. You know? Which also is one big advantage that New Eden has. New Eden has Capsuleers. The players. A Capsuleer is like the Borg, but it can think for itself and doesn't care about assimilating you, but it will take your corpse. Like, there's a lot of players who collect corpses because they can. Especially where the corpse tends to be named who you killed, so it's a good way of keeping track of who you've killed. Okay, I'm good on prizes. I'm full up anyway. Got lots of tea. Some boba coffee. I've never had boba anything. Got lots of balloons. Got pink balloons. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. But yeah, I feel like I've rambled on enough, so let's go put this stuff back in my house. As you might be able to guess, I'm very much in the camp of New Eden would win. And, like, that just comes down to, if nothing else, the industrial difference. Like, it takes... Ugh, voice crack. It takes Starfleet months to make what the empires in New Eden can make in hours. Like, that's just not even remotely fair at that point, you know? Like, my character, my Capsuleer, has the skills to have a battleship built in... Last I remember checking, it's like 4 hours, and I'm not trained for industrial work. A singular battleship would be a match for a small fleet, even if we assume that the ships are relatively equal in power, just simply due to the size difference. Now, the one thing I keep getting hit by with people is, well, what about the Borg? What about the Borg? The Minmatar use projectile weapons, aka bloody great howitzers. Yeah, the Borg don't stand a chance. The Borg can adapt to your energy weapons. The Borg can't adapt to a 1400mm slug pounding into them. Like, they just can't do it. Nothing can. Especially where that's not one slug. I know I've been over this before as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. So, final fireworks show of the summer. Hopefully you all enjoyed the fireworks. Hopefully you all enjoyed your bug off yesterday. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you all back here tomorrow. More Animal Crossing, New Horizons. Yes, I know I didn't talk to Serrano. I am still mad at him. See you all then.